Yes, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Run and Play Podcast, ROP, with my guys, the Manchester United fans slash Arsenal haters, and we, the humble Arsenal fans. I'm your guy, Dr. Toast. We got another humble Arsenal fan in the building, Mr. Johnny Boy. How you feeling today?
Um, Happy to be alive as usual, but a bad weekend in all for Arsenal. We're here to discuss it, right? So let's get into it. So that's why
And
they're
for people
smiling
that are
because they
not
managed
so
to win.
humble,
They managed to win.
they've been in the dungeons for the last couple of weeks, and a revival is beginning to happen in Manchester. Okay, not on the blue side, on the red side, and we're here to discuss all of that. Jude, how are you feeling? You can see your jersey is back. You're wearing a jersey again.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's going to be forever. We'll see how long.
You said that for the past 2 years now.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
We got 3 points, and some people are not smiling. That's the
No problem. I also got our moderator and the ultimate Arteta hater. Sometimes defends him just for banter, but more importantly, he loves Amorim. Yeah, this has been the reawakening that he has been hoping for, and he saw that against Chelsea. You can see he's smiling. He's not hiding his face behind the microphone as usual today. You know, how are you feeling today? Our host and moderator, Mr. Sheunti.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. It could have been a better weekend if Donnarumma did not make that mistake. But I'm feeling good, right? I think things are coming into perspective, right? So I think the situation looked very, very dire, but I think we are reminded now that it's only 5 games. We're only 5 games into what is a long Premier League season, right? And unfortunately, and we're going to start with Arsenal. Unfortunately, the season is starting to take shape, right? And I'm sure in you guys' like wildest imagination, I don't think you thought you would be 5 points behind Liverpool by now. No, it's 5 points now. Yeah, 5 points behind.
But it's only 5 games now. Is it not match week 5?
No, yeah. So okay. So that's where we wanna kick it off, right? Is it only 5 games and there's no cause for concern, or are you concerned that 5 points is quite actually a gap? Because keep in mind that you're playing Newcastle next, right? And 5 points could go anything other than 3 points, and 5 points could go from 5 to 7 or 8. Ordinarily, 5 points, being 5 points from the top in April next year means something very different from being 5 points from the top as of now. Are you feeling confident? Are you dismissing it? Are you concerned, Dr. Toves? Where do you see this 5 point gap?
No. Arsenal are winning the league. That's for certain. Like this 5 points is whatever. There's nothing to it. It's just the start of the season. Everybody's enjoying themselves. People are still working out formations. People have teams they have players that are embedding into the team. People like Pep are still complaining about player fatigue. There's so many things going on, so many dynamics. Liverpool is always getting the last minute winner, not the last game, obviously, but they seem to be struggling a bit. I know I said this at the same time last season, and they ended up winning the league, but it cannot happen again. Everyone is going to wake up. That's all I have to say. And it's not.
I mean,
it's not a bad start. We've just lost 1 game and drawn 1. City has lost 2 games so far. United, let's not talk about United. Chelsea has. I don't think they've lost. They've drawn 2 or 3 games right now. They lost. They lost to United.
They lost. Yeah.
So So overall, the table still looks the way it should be looking. It's just about Arsenal to just surgery to wake up at some point and get our things back together.
So you think Arsenal waking up is inevitable, right? That's it's just a matter of time. You guys are going to gear and you start to rack up the points.
Yes, because we've played 3 big teams so far, right? Very big teams. We played United, smashed them. We played Liverpool. We played Man City. Right now, we drew to them, and we're playing Newcastle next. After that, there's a calm down period. There's lots of London derbies that we can use to rack up points.
Okay. Okay. Lots of London derbies that can be used to rack up points. I can assume that Johnny Boy, you don't share Dr.
I
Tove's
do share it, everything he said I share. I'm
you
not, like
share
I
it.
said,
That
it's just
that
five
will win
points and 5 games. Arteta, Arsenal is going to win the league. I predict Arsenal are going to win the league, and I still believe they win the league.
Okay.
It's just
So
5 games,
let's
and
map
Dr. Steve said,
let's map it out.
Said,
Let's map it out for the rest of the season, right? You guys are 5 points behind Liverpool right now. The position that you're already in means that throughout the rest of the season, if everything remains kind of like the same, you're going to be chasing Liverpool. Now,
that's
do
fine.
you think that chasing? I would imagine that chasing requires a more ambitious approach from the manager, a more proactive approach from the manager, less pragmatic when it comes to the formation, starting lineup. So, do you think Arteta has what it takes to successfully chase Liverpool and to be aggressive enough with the lineups, with the choices for starting 11 or for the players? Do you think he has what it takes to take you guys down the line?
I mean, Arteta will be a fool to still persist with the lineup he played yesterday's game. I think making the subs he made at halftime to me showed a different change in Arteta, because I think we can all agree that Arteta doesn't make. I don't think I've watched any game Arteta made a halftime sub. Not to talk of 2 at halftime. I've not seen that before. I can't remember. Maybe he has done it, but I've never seen that. So this was a change, a good start. So that makes he quickly realize his mistake, that this shit ain't working. He made a mistake at the start by starting that midfield, and then he corrected himself, and you could see the change. We became better. So I expect from next weekend, I expect him to be a little bit braver in the team. And like Dr. Tove says, our fixtures ease a lot from next week. And Liverpool's fixtures a little bit get tougher, because I think after that they have Chelsea, and I think they have United as well. Even though for some reason United and Liverpool is they always whip you guys, but I'll be hoping for United to help Arsenal out. So the fixtures kind of reverse. Chelsea, Liverpool have some tough fixtures. Arsenal have easy runs. So
I want to
expect
drill
Arsenal
down.
to close the gap.
I want to drill down on the personnel choices that Arteta has to make, right? Jude, I don't know if you watched the Man City game, but if you look at Arsenal's team, their back five, I think, picks itself. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and California, Bicalafiori, and then Raya, right? In the middle two, Declan Rice, Zubimendi. I think that's a given. Picks themselves. But my impression is that because of how Arteta wants to play, more likely than not, you're going to see Merino as a third midfielder there, because Arteta is asking Calafiori and Timber to effectively be midfielders too. That gives Merino and Declan Rice the freedom to be box to box and to bomb into the midfield, into attack. And then up front, you have Gyökeres, who is going to start, even though he doesn't perform against any big teams. And on one side, you have Madueke, who I think offers Arsenal something direct. So Madueke is gonna take on his defender one-on-one. He's gonna try and beat him. You're gonna see less system this thing from them. I honestly don't know if Arteta can win in terms of the choices that he has to make, right? Because no matter who you play, Arsenal fans will complain because they fail to realize that like what's missing is the core winning DNA. But regardless of the setup, so I mean, what would be your own, Jude? Your own, if you have to be Arteta.
What do you mean? The Arsenal has not realized that what's missing is the core winning DNA. I don't understand. Can you please clarify that question?
No, I'm saying that like if it didn't day, it didn't day, right? And for Arsenal, it just didn't day. So it doesn't matter whether or not you do Declan Rice and Zubimendi and Eze, or Declan Rice, Zubimendi and Merino, or Declan Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard. It doesn't matter. It just didn't day.
I'll remember that. Jude, carry on.
Yeah. So I think question Jude is, how would you, if you are Arteta, right? The choices, so Zubimendi or an attacking midfielder, Trossard or Eze, Madueke or Saka on the right, Gyökeres or what's his name, what's the guy's name that came from Chelsea? Havertz. What would be your choices for those like positions for us now?
Obviously, I think based on now that I just realized that Joker is like they used to say Sporting that he's not a big man, this, that, but most of his goals are from smaller teams. But
If it's not Leeds, he can't score.
yeah, so I feel like in a game like yesterday, I would have probably changed the pattern a little bit. Eze should have started, but obviously maybe Arteta wanted to. He thought there was going to be fight. Watching the game against Manchester United, right? You probably will feel like we need to choke up more midfielders and forget about pushing more on the attack, right? I feel like Gyökeres was like alone. He needed somebody to either help him walk through that defense, that stuff. So I think that's where, if Kai was available, Kai would have helped. I don't know who else would have walked in there. Maybe Eze being able to transition between attack and this thing would have helped than playing the ball that's like to the side and give it. I feel like Madueke has more back than bite. I don't know if it's what, because I keep seeing him doing the same thing, and it gives you that. It's just like almost like how Garnacho used to be in Man U. Like you'll be happy seeing him with the ball, you know, in the end, it's going to probably be 9 out of 10 times that's going to result into nothing. Do you understand? So Arteta needs to find a way to connect him, like find a way to make him, instead of just going direct, sometimes just play like Saka, fall back and pass the ball through and find your striker or something, instead of going direct, taking on your defender most times. That's one thing. But I think their defense is okay. It's just that midfield. Playing Mikel Merino yesterday wasn't.
I don't know. I mean, let's maybe the Arsenal fans understand this, differently. I mean, Dr. Toes, from my perspective, Arsenal quote unquote dominated the game yesterday, right? You guys had more possession. You pinned City back. City were playing on the counter, so I don't really see where like the Merino critique really comes in strongly, right? I think I get what people have the idea that like a more creative player equals more creativity or something, but I would argue that Merino played a role in you guys being able to dominate the way you were able to dominate. And what eventually gave you guys the goal was a route one play. Route one. So long the ball from the back all the way up to Martinelli, beats the goalkeeper and you score. Right. So Arteta has some tough choices to make, I think, between the like creativity. No, I mean, so you could say that Merino wouldn't have done that, right? But I think you guys considered more counter attacks. You looked more vulnerable when Merino was off the pitch than when he was on it. I don't know how you see like the choices basically Dr. Toes that Arteta has to make.
You're absolutely correct, and I think that's Arteta's point of view anyway. To him, it doesn't matter who is playing, whether it's Merino or Ethan Nwaneri. This season, I think he wanted people that are more defensive minded, that can kind of pin them back, because like you rightly mentioned, like that's what Arsenal are quite doing this season, like trying to pin them up front, defend up front, and don't lose the ball, because we know from last season you like people that are meticulous with the ball, like they don't just pass for passing sake, don't just dribble for dribbling sake. That's how he wants his midfield. But unfortunately for him, you can't teach old dogs new tricks, right? Yes, Merino does that role for Spain. Sometimes he's done it for Sociedad, but the Premier League pace is quite fast, right? You don't have the time and space to be able to like dilly-dally on the ball or be tidy on the ball. You need to be quick, 1-2 passes, make those triangles, which we were doing, but the players were more sideways than forward passing. Like United, you guys have the experience, so always passing to the side. So that's the only problem on the day. Because even when Eze came on, like he shined for 5 minutes, and Mr. Pep decided to play 5-4-1 and 5-5-0. So even locked out Eze out of the game. But luckily for us, he had that one touch, that route one. It's not all the way from it was Eze that route one to
Yeah, no,
Martinelli,
return.
not far
Yeah, still.
from it was still in his 10th position when he did that. Okay, but like you're right, people think that if you're an attacking player, automatically it's equals to attack. But we are happy that it happened against like Forest and against Leeds. So if it does not happen against the big teams, it means the manager has to find another way against the big teams. We cannot because the same problem will be seen every season. You can't keep playing the same style throughout the season for each team. Like find something different for a different team. If we're playing like Sunderland yesterday, I'm sure we'll probably have scored 3 or 4 goals, and nobody's going to mention the starting lineup. But it's
Right.
Man City. They are capable. So that's the big issue. Trying to
So
find a way.
I
And
mean,
if he signs,
so
since he likes to sign, Pep said he's spending too much money now. Since he likes to sign players, maybe he should sign a player that can give him that defensive, defensive edge and attacking, whatever. But that's a story for another season,
three
not
shit
this
now.
season. Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Boy, if it were you, right? This is Arsenal, like we said, 5 points already behind league leaders and likely title contenders. Same points with Bournemouth, and I think 2 other teams that share the top 3 with you. So you could theoretically, on paper, you could end up at the end of next week outside of the top 4. And to make matters worse, you could be within 2 points of horrible, terrible Manchester United. Just imagine how much of a scandal that would be. So
No, it won't be a
with all
scandal.
this, with all this being said, you're Arteta, you're away to Newcastle at a very tough ground. You're up against Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, what's the name of that? Joel Linton, big strong guys. Your fans all want you to come out of there with 3 points, no matter what. Who's your starting 11? Do you take the risk with what's his name? Eze, Madueke, Saka, right? Do you go attacking and then leave your midfield of Zubimendi and Declan Rice? Because you know that Declan Rice is not going to stay in one place. He's not going to stay in one place. He's going to run. He's going to attack. And then your guys Zubimendi, I think they will eat him. They will eat him alive. And I've seen it a couple of times. He does get caught on the ball in the middle of the pitch. So how would you approach this Arsenal game away at Newcastle with the backdrop of everything? Would you be as brave as you're asking Arteta to be?
So my midfield 3 would be Merino, Eze, and Rice.
Okay.
Because
so
I agree with you the fact that
Zubimendi.
yes. And I think Dr. Toves, when we did our Gunners charts, I don't think we had both Rice and Zubimendi starting against City as well. I don't think we both had him starting because we went for an attacking lineup because we felt that you're home and you should go for it because this City were there to be taking advantage of. But unfortunately, our manager chose to play that lineup.
Okay.
So same thing against Newcastle. We need to win. You said it rightly. 5 points is not a lot right now, but it could become 8. It could become 7, I think, or 6, depending on how results go. And that's now the points start building up. So you don't want to take that risk. I rather play my midfield 3 would be Merino, Eze, and Rice. Rice will play my lone 6, and Merino helping me out.
And then up front,
and then Eze, and then my left hand side. This is where the problem starts now because he's going to be coming against Trippier. I don't trust that. Madueke is injured, by the way. The way. So yeah, so that's a headache right now. And that's a big headache. So I'll probably start Martinelli, even though I don't think Martinelli should play on the left again. I will say Martinelli.
He's scored an important goal.
Yeah, but through the middle, Martinelli is better through the middle.
He came from he made a darting run. He came from the flank and
he came from the right
to the center. Yeah, he came from the right now. Yeah.
So whichever way, still the middle, right? So I'll play Martinelli on the left, and then do what he did against Man City, which was, if you notice, there were sometimes Saka went to the left hand side to play, and Eze was on the right. So I will allow that's what I'm saying. The manager did a lot of tinkering against City, which was the first time I'm seeing that. I've never seen a situation whereby he allows Saka go to the left and play. But for the first time in a long while, I saw that happen against City. So maybe that's a sign that he's beginning to tinker a little bit and begin to wise up to what I've been saying all along. Allow your wingers to interchange. They should not just stick to their wing all match. So I will do that and then allow my wingers to interchange. And I think
So for you,
Arsenal will be fine.
no excuses. Arteta has to go for it against Newcastle, and
He
you
has
go
to.
with a more attacking. You go with a more attacking
He
approach
has to.
than.
And
Okay.
the funny thing that he'll be under pressure because Liverpool plays on Saturday, we play on Sunday. So you rightly
Yeah.
said we already. So if God forbid Liverpool plays Palace, that's 8 points already. That's pressure for you right
Say
there.
go for bit. It's more likely that it's gonna be a Liverpool, a plumping, like a
Yeah, but I
proper
trust Palace. Palace are
Ekitike.
they're kind of giant killers. So
Eventually the Liverpool bubble will burst. Okay. I mean, Jude, let's move on to an also important club, because Manchester United,
former.
I think 2 weeks ago, if you had asked me, there was no hope for United, no hope at all, at all, at all. This week, in my opinion, there is a little sliver of hope. When they asked the manager basically after the Chelsea game, he said it doesn't even matter. This Chelsea game as it is now is already done. The most important thing is Brentford. So the first question is, from your perspective, was there anything you saw against Chelsea that maybe gave you confidence, gave you small hope, gave you small belief, or is still, as Mick would say, as it go?
I think the thing that gave me hope is the same thing that has been keeping us last season. I think we probably saw a Bruno that decided to either step up or was given an instruction to move up. So Bruno was like in the attack, and that created our first chance, right? That helped us, even created more pressure in the attack. Like you see that there's that thing called, a creative attacking footballer. He's a midfielder, but you decide to play him deep, thinking that will help. Bruno is not the payload kind of guy, neither is he the Pogba kind of guy. He's more of a, how will I put it? He's more of that,
like a Gerrard kind of.
That kind of behind the striker. Let me be behind so that I can help the midfield and also help more on the attack and can take shots and do all those stuff. So that kind of created more. I think it woke the players up. Like, we are here to win. Do you understand? Like, they were all in the mindset to attack and also track back together. Unlike when he plays that deep and he's not in the game. Everybody in the front is doing their own thing. People at the back are selling match and doing their own thing. So I don't know if that passes a message to Amorim. Like, my fear is that Cunha is back. Messi Mount is back. So most likely we are back to the same routine again.
Still, I think. I mean, what do you make of? Because I get the sense that there was one minor tactical tweak that happened that I think really changed the way we played, which was playing Maguire as the central back and Delete as right centre back. I like Euro, and I like Euro. I think Euro is a good player, but I think Delete is fantastic, right? Like, Delete he knows how to attack. He knows how to get in those positions. So maybe that's what gave Bruno the platform, to go forward to.
We just hope Amorim doesn't change too much next game. The defense is solid. Defense was good. For me, my only pain was I won't say we were pressuring before the red card, like 3 minutes we pressured the normal man, but there was no goal. The goal came when the red card was there, which is, how many times are we going to get red card to get a goal, right?
Sure.
And then you now look at when we were 10-10. We even had chances to kill the game at 10-10 in the second half. And United players playing like they don't even have that clear foresight to know that there's a player beside you that you could square play to, instead of shooting when you know you're not accurate or something. Like, we could have easily lost 2 points in that game if we weren't solid at the back. Well, that's what I think. I think Amorim should start the same lineup. And an overconfidence Maguire is what we don't need, but confident Maguire is okay for us.
It's good.
He's one of our best players, I don't lie. But I think Euro needs time. Euro just needs time. Is you can't compare him and Delete has had experiences of many big teams, Champions League with Bayern Munich and all those things. So Euro needs time. He's just a teenager growing up. I think in the next 5, I see more like a picture of Varane. It's going to take a few more years for him to stand up and do more. He had a bad game against City, no doubt, but he doesn't give me that too much confidence, especially when he's on the ball. He's kind of scared. I think he needs to learn that confidence with Maguire. But Maguire said they thought sometimes if I can't do I want to be driving like. But Maguire has that confidence with the ball. I wish
he has confidence, and he has been here before, right? And I think Dr. Soto has raised a fair point. And I'm curious to hear what Johnny Boy thinks. I'm sure he agrees. And I mean, feel free to discredit the United performance, but from a perspective, do you take away anything for United from that game against Chelsea, or you think it was just Chelsea gave us the game and we're going to win anyway?
It's obvious that Chelsea gave you the game. That's the first thing, because nobody sitting here predicted that Sanchez was going to do that calamity. You can't, like, what was going through his head 3 minutes into the game? Like, who does that? And then
it wasn't 3 minutes, or like 6 minutes.
It was 3 minutes, bro. It was like 4 minutes into the game. It was so early. And then to make matters what the coach, I don't know, he panicked because he made a statement after the game. He'd rather be 1 goal down after 4 minutes than 1 man down. But the message should have been to himself as well. Why did you take out all your attacking players within the first 20 minutes of the game because you're 1 man down? Nobody does that. So he too also panicked. He also panicked as well, because no manager does that. You don't take out all your attacking options because you still feel that you're gonna have chances. And also United has for some reason, even when Chelsea were in their pump, United always had a good record over Chelsea at Old Trafford for some reason.
Agenda.
So that also plays a role. For some reason, United steps up against Chelsea, especially at Old Trafford. So it's something that I expected, and it was going to be a difficult game for Chelsea regardless. And United, we all know United's mantra, especially under the coaches, win 1, draw 1, lose 1. So you lost last weekend. You lost last weekend. So I expected a bounce back at home against Chelsea. So there's nothing. I think let's see your game against Brentford, and I think Liverpool is your next game after that. They will have a fairer opinion and judgment about the team. But if a United fans take the
win, that's fair.
3 points, which is in the bag. So that's what's important at this point in time.
Another talking point that I think. Another talking point that came up, because now Casemiro is going to miss the next game. I'm just curious, what do you make of this whole Kobe Mino situation, right? Where the guy cannot get playing time under Amorim. And I think the conclusion, if you read the tea leaves based on what Amorim has said, he doesn't rate Kobe as highly as everybody else does. I remember him saying, and I quote, something about how the idea of Kobe is better than the player himself, right? And so Kobe is competing with Bruno for one of the 2 midfield positions, and the other one is Casemiro and Ugarte. You guys have had your own share of young players come through and so on and so forth. But like, what do you make of the whole Kobe situation? Is Amorim crazy, or United fans crazy for pushing Kobe too much?
If you notice they all have something in common. All these new modern managers, they hardly trust youth. Arteta was the same thing. Remember, after Arsenal had a period where going through problems, Arteta refused to play. This Saka, I remember when we had Saka, this Saka were praising. There was a time he refused to play Saka. Saka wasn't playing for Arsenal. He kept on persisting with Willian and the rest that time. It was injuries that forced his hand, and that's how he was able to play Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe. So for some reason, these managers don't trust youth because they feel that youth is not good. As a youth player, you still have that youth exuberance. So you're not going to follow the manager's instruction to the T. So they are very, very particular on following the manager's. So that's why you see them always on the sideline, directing play and all this. But as a youngster, we're all young. You want to shine. You want to show yourself what you can do. So there's bound to be you playing without the coach's instruction. So that also plays. I think that's one of the reasons why it's happening with Mino. Mino is a free thinker. he's going to do what he wants to do, regardless of what the manager is saying. He will try to do what the manager says, but at the end of the day, that youthful exuberance is still going to come. And so I think the manager sees him as somebody that is not tactically aware at this moment in time. So that's the problem he's having. He depends more on a 35-year-old Casemiro because he believes Casemiro has been there and
that's
done that.
crazy.
Ugarte has been there and done that. And then obviously your captain Bruno has been there and done that. So he trusts those guys far more than Mino. Mino is more like his last resort when every other thing has failed. So he has to play Mino. Unfortunately for us, that's hard. These modern managers think. See with Mannery, everybody thought, okay, play Mannery even last season when we're struggling when Odega was out, we could see, yo, bro, try it out. Just play Wannery. You cannot get worse. He didn't play Wannery because he didn't trust him because he's young. So it's nothing new.
I guess to be fair, your whole squad is young now, right? How old is Timber? How old is Saliba? How old is
but you know what? Those guys have been playing. They're young. There's young.
Right.
There's young and having games under your belt, like Timber, like you mentioned. Those guys those guys are young, but like they've had experience of playing for a long time. So those guys are kind of different.
I mean, Jude, what do you make of this whole Kobe Mino situation? I think there's a possibility where United fans might be gassing up Kobe too much, right? Do you think there's some truth to the idea that Kobe, wait for find your level? You're just 19 years old. Calm down. You never see anything. You never really do anything. You've only had one season of professional football. Or do you think? Because some people also say this, that like any system that cannot accommodate Kobe Mino is a rubbish system. Where do you fall?
I believe in tweaking the system. So depending on the game, it depends on what the manager wants to play. For me, Amorim is already said, "Oh, my philosophy." Everybody is not like the philosophy.
Not even the Pope.
If you shift out, you should not even Pope. You might even ship out Jesus at this point in time. So let's just hope. So I just feel, for me, from the player perspective, he couldn't get the loan that he wanted to get. Mine is, you are faced with Bruno, and that position is not too deep. It's not that hard for you. It kills him as a player. Maybe his role is always like push you up, attack. Like, he's not really a sitting guy, but he's like, oh, I can attack sometimes, take shots and do all those stuff, right? But now he has to play more deep, which is not his greatest strength. But for me, I feel like when you are an upcoming player, it's just like Rashford in Barcelona. Whatever he's given now, he's probably going to take it and try to do like show himself, right? That's what Kobe needs to learn. Like, take that position, even if it's 10 minutes, dominate it for 10 minutes. It gives you another 20, 40 minutes of another game. You never can tell. If you dominate better, you might take the shirt from Bruno, and Bruno will be given another position instead. But the problem is, there's not enough time. There are going to be errors with the current Man United team setup. There are going to be errors, and the easy link to carry is probably, oh, that's Kobe. He's a midfielder. Probably they lost the ball in the midfield. Then Kobe is the fourth. They take out Kobe. Those things also kill the player. I think Amorim needs to come to a point where he doesn't want to change the philosophy, which is where I don't agree with him. I feel like you can, because when you look at Manchester United, when we are down and we need a goal, by 80th minute, you start seeing Harry Maguire up front, and we are only sending the ball up front. That's a change of philosophy. So why can't you change your philosophy as early as 60 minutes? As 50 minutes, you see that the game is not going, and that's what's been killing us against smaller teams. The game is not going that way. There are other things you can play, and then it will accommodate Kobe and mount pressure for us in the attack. Like, it's a different ball play, gameplay, like everything. See the Man City game, when they came in, it was a different gameplay. Everybody was now up front. Like, do you understand? So I feel like to be able to have a second philosophy that those players can easily switch on to and still dominate and get results. Because at this point, it's not just one philosophy. Even Fergie had to change 4-4-2, 4-4-2, 4-4-2 to 4-3-3 at some point, and even change. He also changes when he noticed that he has Anderson cleverly. Like you have to play sometimes to the strength of the players to get results, and sometimes just play your first 45 minutes to have the strength and dominate and see whether your philosophy is working. But if your philosophy is not working at this point, you're not only killing Manchester United, you're also killing the players. How will I put it? Their own morale by start having self-doubt and other stuff and not getting the result.
Let's segue to another team. Let's segue to another team that could use a change in philosophy. I think Chelsea fans are having a bit of a difficult past 2 or 3 weeks since that game against Brentford, losing to Bayern.
Reality check. But it's no excuse for
maybe reality is checking in, because if you look at this Chelsea team on paper, this year score is a little wishy-washy. So like
your squad isn't good on paper. It's not good.
It's not good.
The shameful part is that they've spent so much money on garbage. That's the problem.
Who's the garbage?
Like you can't spend you can't tell me you spend 2 billion and your defense is like that. It makes no sense.
No, I would agree with you. Their defense looks terrible. Aside, Reece James looks like a good player, but he's kind of old.
Yeah, but you can't count Reece James because Reece James is a Chelsea academy player, so they didn't buy him. So I don't count Reece James. Talk about they didn't spend money on Reece James. I'm talking about money they spent. So you can't spend over or close to 2 billion and your defense is that crappy. Like it makes no sense.
I'm looking at the squad, right? If you look at the squad as a whole, in terms of quality, right back, left back, I think they have some quality. Cucurella and Reece James.
But that's fine, but like
center backs,
porous. Both of them are porous. Goalkeeper porous.
Goalkeeper porous. Midfield, I think they have.
The midfield is okay. Even the attack, their striker. No offense to Pedro and Delap, but you expect if I'm spending 2 billion, I should have even if not his world-class striker, but at least second tier. We can agree that Joao Pedro and Delap are not even second-tier strikers. They're probably third tier. So I was expecting Chelsea to go for like an Osimhen, you know?
Probably what they want to play, right? They need a striker that falls back and play the ball and all those stuff.
Osimhen does that. Osimhen does that. We all know Osimhen does that. Osimhen works hard for the team.
Let's forget about Osimhen. There's an agenda against that. So let's just forget about Osimhen and look at other strikers.
No, but you're not supposed to bother about that. The aim of the team is to win.
They messed up by not fixing their defense this period. You have a defensive error issue since last season, and this is where all these summer friendlies will come and disgrace you last because they thought they've won their world champions. They beat PSG with that same squad, so they feel like they've arrived. All we just need is to add a little tweak in their attack, forgetting that their defense is the same defense that has been causing calamities since last season. Is it not the same Chaloba and the same what's his name? So I feel like that's where they could have focused. At least add one strong center back there and be good. If it's Mosquera that they've gone to, they would have gotten Mosquera. If it's a better center back, they would have gotten a better second back, and they would have hold that fort for themselves. But now they are going to be very, very porous, and like it's going to be a reality check for them because now it's not one game a week again. It's not like 3 games a week at least. That's what they'll be facing, 2 or 3 games.
Okay. So I mean, that will be one team.
This is not an excuse for them. This is not an excuse for them. They have to challenge because I mean, you can't spend that much and not be in the title challenge. All those, if we're not making excuses for Chelsea, they have to be in the title challenge at least. I'm not saying they have to win it, but they have to challenge for the title.
At this point, there's no
pressure.
They cannot reach.
Yeah, but it doesn't give them the excuse though.
They've lost out. We're hoping on Arsenal now.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's one manager and one team that they are casting as I predicted. The other people that are kind of yet to fall apart is Liverpool. Right, and I think unfortunately, when I look at the Liverpool team, unlike Chelsea, I just see quality. Like that Liverpool squad, like the midfield, McAllister, Gravenberch, you can't touch them. Like you can't touch Gravenberch. He's dropping the shoulder. He's doing this thing.
Winning mentality.
and so they have a squad of quality players, and then on top of that, they have that mentality, right? And that mentality, I think, when we saw, I can't remember what game it was where they substituted Ekitike for Isak. I don't think the Premier League is ready for what Liverpool have to offer. And while somebody like Ritz, for example, Ritz is still
the Champions League game.
Champions League game, right? Ritz is still yet to score a goal, register an assist. I think that the 120 million signing is 0-0 now, so it's 0-0-6. It will soon be 007. But I mean, Jude, you can start. But like Liverpool, do you see them slowing down anytime soon, or Shannon like this they will just go from here on to the end?
Actually, is really scary. But the thing is, I don't know. They'll be having one of. We've been like less busy weeks, right? So now everybody's getting busy. But the problem is that they decided to score Everton too early and end the game at first half and started resting their guys. So for me, I think I will have to watch them in a consistent, maybe in the next run of play where they have like some top teams, like two top teams together and the Champions League in between, and be able to say, okay, will these people? Because my fear with them is that they've not yet clicked perfectly, and each game helps them to click. Do you understand? So if they keep going this way, by maybe November or December, they'll probably click and they will be like on fire. On fire in the sense that they probably have gapped everybody in the league, like in the way that they are 9 or 10 points far away from every other person. So the only hope we have now is one person to get injured or they don't click. It's very, very difficult.
No, but who now, right? Who will get the injury in Liverpool that will slow them down?
Though, I don't think it's going to affect.
I think
the person that you might think
defensive, if they have
maybe Van Dijk,
blow them. It will blow them. Because midfield, they all have replacements everywhere. They have replacements. Salah gets injured, it will weigh them, but they probably struggle to win. Like they will nick the win out.
They probably move Frimpong to Salah's position or even play
but there's a fear that comes with having Saka in your team. There's a fear that comes with having Salah in your team. There's a fear that comes with having Haaland in your team. When Haaland injures now, you see struggle to win. It's not that they cannot win, but it will be more because the defense now will feel more relaxed. Like, oh, we don't have Haaland to be there. Same thing, we don't have Saka. Saka might be taking like two or three players, depending on how fast-paced the game is for him or how this. So that's what I think. Like, if the defense should get injured, that would be an easy way to like pounce on Liverpool. Maybe one error, one loss will change the mentality, and then they will try a second loss or draw will now force them to try to change the formation. But if that formation changes, that's when it will take time for them to balance and adapt again. Do you understand? So for now, the more fit they are and the one by one win they're winning is building more closer to a formidable team that is going to probably push up that pitch. That's what I think for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dr. Sos makes a good point that if Gravenberch or Szoboszlai gets injured, they may be affected. And I think those who are praying for Liverpool's downfall should pray for injury. Because that's just the only way I see them. I just think the quality in the team is too much from back to front. They just have and not just ordinary quality, but proper ballers for start to finish. Okay, we don't have to make today's own too long. So let's wrap up with our nominations for our Ballon d'Or. Basically, what do you guys think? I think it's going to be Lamine. Or they said Lamine has already won Best Young. Lamine has already won Best Young.
He was always going to win that.
So maybe they won't give him the same award. But I don't see Dembele winning, and this might be controversial to say, but I just don't see Dembele taking it. So I'll probably go with Lamine. What about you guys?
I think I'm with you on that. I think I also said I think Lamine is going to win because he has all the aesthetics, the skills. Like somebody made a statement, said, out of Dembele and Lamine, who would I pay money to go watch? And obviously, I think it's quite a simple answer. It's going to be Lamine. He was electric. I know he didn't win like the Champions League and stuff last season, but he was electric. He's 17 or 18 years, so he's the most electric guy in the world right now presently. So I think he's probably going to win it.
Okay.
And it's going to be the youngest winner if he wins it as well. So there's also that history to be broken as well.
History, okay.
Let's hear about you.
I wanted Dembele to win, but I feel like the politics in the game is still the politics in the game. That's my conspiracy. They'll give it to Yamal, being that he's also a Spanish guy. Yeah, either from Barca or Madrid.
Yeah, but is a French. Just remember, Ballon is French, so that has nothing to do with it.
It's not about being a French award. Barca and Madrid have a way of playing their. That's my conspiracy. They have a way of playing their.
But then Barca Madrid didn't win last year, so what are you talking? All those stuff.
Who won? It's not a Spanish. It's from a Spain.
It's Rodri that won it, and he deservedly won it.
He's a Spanish guy.
Yeah, but he deserved it though. He deserved it.
I did not say he did not deserve it, but he was playing against.
Don't bring any controversy here.
He was playing against Vinicius. Vinicius did not deserve it more. It's still controversial, so just forget it.
No, but anybody that won it is fair. I'm fine with that.
For me, I feel like Dembele deserves it. From what he did with PSG, it's not an easy task. He did good. Lamine Yamal is great, but I feel like Dembele deserved that accolade for last season.
Don't get me wrong, any of them that wins it, I don't think we can argue either for.
I know it's why one should win it. There are already like leaks showing that it's Yamal. So
yeah, but I won't follow that because last season all the leaks.
That's
all the leaks last season was Vinny. All the leaks last season was Vinny.
If they are doing it to draw our attention, to bring us into controversy, to watch their stuff, and then they give it to Dembele, that's another thing that will happen. But it seems like it's going to.
I just want to close with some new data that just came out now. When they said Manchester United, according to Opta analysts, Manchester United had the hardest starting five fixtures of all the teams that were played. So we faced the toughest opponents, but no club has a higher XG.
That's a lie.
Or has played more shots than Manchester United.
But that's a lie right there.
They just told you.
Why is it lie?
Burnley and Fulham. Come on, what are we doing here now?
Are you okay?
No, so we played. No, I'm looking at the ranking here. The opponent's average ranking, and this is Opta analysis. You're free to contest it. But first is Man United, who played Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, Man City, and Chelsea. Bournemouth is the next. Bournemouth is the next toughest coefficient. Like they played the next toughest amount of teams. Liverpool, Wolves, Tottenham, Brighton, Newcastle. Arsenal is third. Arsenal played United, Leeds, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Man City.
This is why I don't like stats, because stats lie, and this is an example where stats is lying. You can't tell me, Jude, let's not lie. You can't tell me Burnley is a hard fixture. Burnley it's just coming from relegation. It doesn't matter, Jude. It doesn't matter. You are playing them
alone now,
bro. Dude, you have to speak the truth always. Don't always
lie on the game played now,
bro. Burnley just came from relegation.
We had Man City.
Even with Bournemouth, Bournemouth is playing Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton like the worst in the league. What are we talking about here? Like, let's be honest.
No vex. I go say their accounts.
Yeah, but that's
may you forward your complaints.
That's a wrong start.
May go write letter to.
Are they trying? Maybe they are trying to pacify Amorim.
No,
maybe they are giving Amorim pointers to so I can send to the board and United fans. That thing is for United fans to pacify them because United fans are going crazy.
No, but you do know that part of what makes this Amorim period so annoying, especially this season, is that all the data, XG or passes or shots, Man United are in the top.
Yeah,
this thing, but we know they win. We know they win match.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why somebody said it's good to watch ball with your eye and forget stats, because let's be honest, you also say it. United have all those things, but how many clear chances you guys create? You guys don't create much. You don't.
No, we create chances. We create good. That's what XG is.
You don't.
That's literally what XG
against
is.
Fulham, we all did this analysis against Fulham, but from Cunha's chance, which other clear chance did they have against?
No, but that's literally. We don't have to use our eye test now. That's the metric XG, right? Is meant to capture quality of chances, basically.
Dr. Toast,
So
thank you. Tell them.
Dr.
Tell
Toast,
them. Tell them.
Dr. Toast, between you guys should pick one. You guys should pick one, right? Number one, Arsenal fans insist that Arsenal is a stronger team than United. So when you're playing against United, Liverpool, and Man City, you're playing against your mates in Liverpool and Man City, and your junior in United.
No,
they are better than
United for Arsenal. United for Arsenal.
They believe that they are better than
Trafford. So we can't say
that.
You are a victim of your own success.
No, it's not. United at Old Trafford.
You are looking at.
We all know that it's a tough picture for Arsenal.
But that's not what you are looking at.
That's not what you're talking about. That's how we're looking at.
You and Dr. Toves should take your complaints to Opta analyst. I will drop
only to Man U is stronger than Forest to us.
United fans.
Forest that just changed. Look at Forest that changed.
Even Forest is harder than.
Forest is not harder for Arsenal.
No. I'm saying Forest is harder than both.
The Forest
and Burnley. No, I'm just saying. No, if we're talking about if you are being truthful,
we are comparing it to the strength of the team now. That's what they are looking at. You are looking at it based on name.
No, which name? Where did Nottingham Forest finish last season? 7th.
Nottingham Forest finished above Man U.
Thank you. Thank you. They finished 7th. They finished 7th.
So they are supposed to
be coming from Division 1.
That's what I'm telling you.
Nottingham Forest.
They are not good compared to Arsenal. That's what I'm telling you.
No, we're talking about opponents now. We're talking about opponents you have faced. We're not. This is not related to the team.
That's what they're
talking about in terms of
opponents now. Now Sabina House collect 13, I mean 14. Now allow us to suffer to collect the strongest opponent.
I've seen the show too, but I don't. All the stats is garbage.
You finish second. Your strongest opponent is Liverpool. That's your strongest opponent. Every team below the table is not strong.
You guys will take it up with the police or with FIFA. At this point, have a good week.
I'm happy for you guys. United fans are happy seeing that start. Maybe that will keep Amorim in the job longer.
Have a good week.
It's actually good for Amorim.
Like we said at the beginning of this episode, Johnny Boy, please just make sure that no matter what happens next week, no matter what happens, don't come back here with only 2 points ahead of Man U, or that you are 8 points behind.
But even if that happens, I'm not still moved because I know United is still going to finish where they ought to finish.
Why are you bothered about United?
You brought up United and he brought up.
I'm the one that's bringing it up. I'm telling you, Johnny Boy. If for any reason the two of us end up in the same vicinity on the table, that's casted, dude. That's casted.
United, we can't predict now. United is up and down.
No, we can't predict. We can't predict Man United, so we could lose or we could win. But if we should win, and for any reason you guys don't win at Newcastle, and you are now 8 points behind Liverpool.
To Sunday.
That will not be funny, but yeah, like, share, subscribe. Looking forward to chatting with you guys next week.